I'll be the one to first to share.
Huh? No, you don't have to share. You can just read from the text.
Okay, okay, got it.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, I'll proceed then. Proceeding from page 51.
51.
51, the fruit of good and evil.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fruit of good and evil can be useful when we're trying to work something out, but when you're trying to be united with others, it's poisonous, evil, and not profitable. God put the fruit of good and evil in the garden because it was food for his angels. They are his servants who have to work for him. People who work may need the fruit of good and evil, but for the union of the church, it's poisonous. Many things are included in the fruit of good and evil: good behavior, perseverance, and rejecting evil things in the church. But in spite of this fact, the Lord Jesus said, "You have deserted the first love." When you visit some churches, you'll discover that there isn't any love. Everything's cold, and soon you'll realize that they argue and become involved in conflicts. They may have many good points, and individually they are excellent, but as a group, because of the fruit of good and evil, they argue and become involved in conflicts. It's true everywhere, in the family, the church, and in society. Just like in the battle, big family squabbles, struggles, and conflicts, it's clear that it's all because of the fruit of good and evil. One of them should endow the grace, and the others must appreciate and receive it. Only then will they give thanks to one another. I think that's a good place to stop. I think I agree with this section because it's true that the knowledge of good and evil is necessary for the world. With this ongoing Olympic competition, I think they're all using the fruit of good and evil. Everyone is boasting their abilities and knowledge and skills and experience, and there can be no chance of being equal with others. You must beat another in order for the topmost position or the victor to come out. Um, in this Tokyo Olympics, it's the first time that my country received or had a gold medal ever since the Olympic competition started. And
What
everyone,
what kind of sports?
what
What section?
competition?
Uh-uh.
Weightlifting, 55 kilograms for women.
Uh,
It's the first time, and everybody's going crazy, just congratulating and so on, because it's the first gold medal. The previous ones were just silver and bronze, but very rare. And yeah, every competitor needs to beat each other with the fruit of good and evil. Yes, it's necessary for the world, but in the church there can be there's only fruit of life, because in there's unity and unity, no competition, and no, because competition brings separation. I think that's what I want to say with this part.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, Misa. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. In Olympic Games, we need to compete. We have to overcome of others. So we need the knowledge of good and evil. But in church, yeah, we don't have to eat the fruit of good and evil. So we do not have to compete in church. So yeah, so we can, if we want to enjoy church life, we try to eat a lot of, the fruit of life. So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, Misa, you did. Yeah, I agree with you.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's I think that the fruit of good and evil we say about the fruit of good and evil, and is the matter is fruit of evil is we think that is bad, but fruit of good we think is good. It is the right fruit, righteousness fruit. So maybe we think that we insist, because it's a right. I mean, is we think that is true. So that's why it is not easy to give up because it's right. Yeah. So the matter is, when we think that we are on the right side, then it is very hard to be mixed with other people, which is thought to be in bad side. So always the matter is the fruit of good and evil, but the problem is fruit of good. I mean, that's the real, problem, because more than the fruit of evil. Yeah, that's all. How about read more? I will read.
May I read more?
Oh, you read?
Yeah. In a family where there is a high percentage of the fruit of good and evil, there are always squabbles and conflicts. But if it is full of the fruit of life, it will be very peaceful. This is a very simple and eternal truth. We must eliminate the old world, which is filled with the fruit of good and evil. We should enter into this new world, which is filled with the fruit of life. We are all entering into this new world. When we enter into the church, we should clean the dust from our shoes and put on a new pair. In today's world, this is the most important issue for all churches. They have many good things, doctrines, organizations, rituals, but their actual life is led by the fruit of good and evil. Roughly 95% of their messages are connected with the fruit of good and evil. Therefore, there is no way to avoid conflict and division because their intelligence and knowledge has increased, but not their character. They've received an overflowing understanding of only the fruit of good and evil, so their knowledge has been developed and advanced. Consequently, they have no other path than to argue and become divided. They are involved in conflicts as they become excessively intelligent. Instead, they should have become moderately intelligent and abundant and overflowing with the fruit of life. If you are full of good and evil, in the first place, the church can't be constructed or maintained in a proper way. Therefore, when the Lord called his disciples and his people, he called those who are overflowing with the fruit of life. In the Bible, when we read about Jesus, we cannot know everything about him, but we can see that in every aspect he is without defects. Jesus did many other things as well. If every one of them were written down, I suppose that even the whole world would not have room for the books that would be written. John 21:25. Maybe this is enough. I think, yeah. If we are full of good and evil in the first place, the church can't be constructed or maintained in a proper way. Yeah, this is really true. So if the church is full of good and evil, the church can't be constructed. Yeah. So if we want to construct church, we need to eat the fruit of life. So I think, as Judge said, yeah, the fruit of good and the fruit of bad are there. I think they are the same, almost the same. So we have to eat the fruit of life to keep a church life. So this passage is very meaningful to us. The church can't be constructed by the evil, by the fruit of good and evil. That's what I want to say.
But I think that is so true. Church cannot be constructed with I just want to share there.
Yeah, yeah, so weak.
Yeah. Huh?
Yo, you sound very.
Then I'll remove my earphones. This is
No.
better?
Yeah, much better.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, there is this Christian denomination here. I think it's around the world, Assembly of God, and they come to the point of fighting over their doctrines, and then after that, fighting over properties, to the point that they filed cases against each other in the court of law. And in one of their ministers' gathering, the leader would usually start his speech by saying that one of his hobbies is to climb the highest skyscrapers in the world and take photographs. He's not sensitive to look at his audience, and there were some ministers who came from remote places, from province, and who did not even experience riding a plane. And those factors, huge differences, and then the higher ministers in the level became more concerned of material things and competition, and to the point that they filed cases against each other. So, right, there can be no fruit of good and evil in constructing the body of Christ.
네, 누구라도 해주세요. 녹음하고 있어서 스톱한 것 같아.
I will read, okay? The disciples of Jesus were quite different from the disciples of Confucius or Buddha. It's clear that in his life, Jesus never applied the principle of good and evil. That's why his friends had the same temperament. If Jesus had applied the principles of good and evil, he wouldn't have made those kind of friends. If we look in the Bible at his friends, they didn't apply the principle of good and evil, and that's why they became his friends. Even on Sabbath day, if they passed the wheat field and were hungry, they'd cut and eat it. Quite naturally, they act like human beings, but if we judge them by our standards, we'd consider them as acting like Christians who had no morals. According to the law of Moses, how can a prophet and his disciple behave like this on the Sabbath day? But if we think about it in a simple and natural way, anybody who is hungry would want to eat. If we think about it deeply, the behavior of Jesus and his disciples was truthful. When Jesus visited the house of Matthew, the tax collector, the Pharisees criticized him. He must be a third-class prophet or of a very low class. How can he eat dinner with the tax collectors? At this time, tax collectors were believed to be evil people. If he were an excellent prophet, he wouldn't have done this. He must be ignorant of sin and sinners. But Jesus answered them, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I haven't come to call the righteous, but the sinners to repent." His words were truthful and natural. If I were a doctor, I'd need sick people, not the healthy. It is ironical and contradictory. Doctors work to make everyone healthy, but if there wasn't any sick person, they lose their jobs. Doctors need a proper number of sick people. If not, they cannot make a living. When Jesus said doctors need sick people and they need doctors, it's quite natural. If we meditate on the words of Jesus, they are truthful and natural, and they are reality because he was living in the fruit of life.
Yeah, in this passage, I can think Jesus is just a man. So he acts like a real man. So naturally, when he was hungry, he ate, and his disciples the same. When they were hungry, they ate. So even on Sabbath day or not, they didn't care about. Yeah, that's a real natural human being. If we are hungry, we eat. We feel like eating. So Jesus showed us the real man when he was on earth. Okay, and when he died on the cross, he showed to all the people the real man. So we have to remember that Jesus was a perfect man, not a God. So Jesus said doctors need sick people and they need doctors. It's quite natural. So Jesus did in a natural way when he was on earth. So yeah, this passage reminded me of Jesus Christ. Is the real man, not God. That's all what what I want to say.
I think that the Sabbath, I don't know what Sabbath is. No, I mean, recently I read the books written by Eric Fromm, To Have or To Be, and he said about the Sabbath, and it's a Sabbath day. We think we don't know. He said it is not permitted to change the location of something. I mean the property. If my property is the moving to other person's property, it is not allowed. But in my garden, which is I have a very heavy things, but I can move it in my garden, because it is okay even on the Sabbath day, because it's my property. I mean, there is no change of the owners of property. I mean, so that's why I don't know the real why it is have to be kept, or what have to we don't have to do on a Sabbath day. We don't have any idea when I read the book. So but so I think that it's a I read the Bible, and is they try to eat something wheat filled, because they are hungry. Even even on the Sabbath day, it is not permitted to eat some wheat. Maybe I think that the problem is that just to eat the wheat is not the matter. I mean, because even the Sabbath day we have to eat, which is cooked or something. It is not allowed. I'm not sure, but the eating something is, I think that it is a permitted. So the problem is, I think that they eat other people's properties wheat. They're thief.
They just pick it up along the path and take it and eat it.
Yeah. It's not belongs to the Jesus Christ and their disciples. I mean, that's why the proper that was so that's why the matter is the eat other people's wheat. That's the matter, I think. I mean, I don't know what Sabbath is. I mean, mm, just I have no idea about the Sabbath. So 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 yeah, that's my idea. But what is the true? I mean, we are hungry, then we eat something. It's a very natural. I mean, as a human being, and there is a no other people's, people's sight. I mean, thought. They don't care about the other people's thought, because they know if they do something, then many people condemn them. They know that, but it's not the matter. I think they are Jesus Christ. Jesus don't concern other people's thought or other people's eyes. Just as a human beings, he do his way. Yeah, that's all. 주뱅 누나 좀 얘기 좀 해주세요. 얘는 얘기라고 해야지 하시더라고.
uh, so I don't really know the main idea of this book, but I'd like to start from what say Bishop said. He said there is no what do you say? In the church, there is only a tree of life. That's what I want to say, because even in the church, even with the church brothers and sisters, we don't. They say, when I say church, of course, it's not the building, and even when I meet church brothers and sisters, not always a church. We can just have a small talk. So when we talk about our redemption, talk about how God did in our lives, I can feel it is body of Christ and a church. So even I talk with co-workers at work, I can experience church. So here, and this book also says about the percentage of, let's say, the percentage. But in the church, there is none, not just the 0.5, none. There's nothing about the good and evil. So for me, this book itself is very distracting, but I try not to get lost. And the idea about church is I'm getting to know it. One thing I am sure, I am born again as with the purpose, in the purpose of God. That is how we start a new life. And so what I am is not made by my parents. It is totally created by the message. When I heard the message, God had a plan in the beginning, and God made me to accomplish His purpose. That is why I need to keep my living. And so the church is still homework to me, because I'm so sure of what I am is it's all because of God's plan. But when I'm in the church, it says there is word distinguish. So I still have problem with the church brothers and sisters, but that doesn't mean I have a problem in the church. So I can have problems with the people, but I'm so sure there is church. It is made only by God, and also there is no difference in the church. So the church. So I'm sure I am born again, but the church is, I said, it is my homework, but no longer I think it is mine. It is God's homework. He's doing it. He's doing it, not me. So when I feel connected with people, when I see myself, you and I are have same destiny. So I didn't start my life. It is started. And also I'm not the driver. When I was thinking about myself, I always thought I'm kind of well-made car, but there is no driver and there is nowhere to go. But when I met the message, it is so perfect. There is driver, and there is the direction. The direction, I don't know, but I can see the car is at last moving, and I feel great because me myself is used as a car, because it used to just it used to be just the part without knowing what I was looking for. But once there is a driver, and also when the goal is suggested, I feel overwhelmed. The goal is suggested. It says that Christ. I am Christ. I don't know what that is, but I know from what I heard, the Christ. That is, I can be used as the image carrier, and when God can be expressed through me, they can set God free, and they can make me myself glorified. So that's what I heard about the goal. I am heading it, but I didn't reach it. But there is a goal that itself is very exciting, because I couldn't set my personal goal in my life. I was ashamed of it, but I'm not no longer ashamed of it. As a creature, I didn't need to have my own goal. If I had, it could make my life more complicated. I felt dumb because I didn't have any practical goal, but now I know I was set to form God's body on earth. It sounds very abstract, but it sounds also great. And so when I see you, we are, here kind of sometimes, we don't have a teacher here. We don't have a teacher, just we express our experiences, and we express what we got from reading. It sometimes seems very clumsy, but but one thing we know, we've been guided by God for His purpose to be accomplished. I'm part of it. That itself is amazing. So it doesn't matter. I feel myself lost or not, because I've never been lost in God's plan. I've never been lost. Just I felt myself lost, but it wasn't true. So even I thought I was lost. I was still being led by God. That is very comforting. So after I heard that message, I no longer check myself where I am, or I'm used by God or not, because I'm here. I'm here being alive. That itself is the glory of my life and the victory of God. And so the limit, I still feel the limit. The limit is, I don't know. I've heard where I am going, but I don't know what it is yet. So if you are a student, you could set your goal to be a doctor or a lawyer. I didn't have that. Still, I don't have such a kind of goal, but I know God called me to be Christ. So, so one thing I know clear is I'm called and have anointed as is to be a Christ as a God's image carrier. So I am part of it. And then here it says, I start to talk because in the church, there is none of the knowledge, none of the tree of knowledge, good and evil, none. It's not a church. So when I call church, there's 100% 100% of the fruit of life. So in the family, I sometimes act like mom as wife, but they cannot be called church. But I can, as a, even it is very tiny, when I acknowledge myself as Christ, who is say called and appointed as Christ, so that is the church. So I want to make it sure in the church there is none of the tree of good and evil. When we judge each other, that is not church. But Can I read next?
Yeah.
Where am I? Where do I start? Anybody? Anybody who eats? Page 54.
Right.
Page 54. Anybody.
Okay, that's right. Where I was. Okay. Anybody who eats the fruit of life, their words and the behavior will be very truthful and natural. If we look deep enough, we'll see that the truthfulness is hidden. Outwardly, the church may look shabby, sometimes noisy, and other times untidy. But inside, there is truthfulness. In the religious church, people may look excellent and neat. The priest wears black clothes with a long robe, and his underwear is white and clean. Underwear? But if the priest has, how do I know the underwear?
Underwear.
Should be undergarment.
Underwear.
Underwear. Who knows? Underwear is white, clean.
But if the priest has a poisoned and decayed character, this is a serious problem for that church. If our church is shabby, noisy, complicated, and untidy, visitors would talk about our church. This church is very dirty and noisy. How can you say this is a church? I really don't understand this Daegu church. Well, it's not a temple. It's just a gathering of God's people. That's all, they'd say. I don't understand this Daegu church. But if they'd stay longer and dig deeper, they'd be able to discover the hidden truthfulness and the true entity, and they could search out the eternal focus. We must maintain our focus on the fact that the church should be started by eating the fruit of life. New life, living should start with the fruit of life. In the church, we should distinguish the behaviors of the people, whether they started with the fruit of life or the fruit of good and evil. So if we are able to clearly distinguish this, we'll easily be able to get the victory. Yeah. So, as a member of the Daegu Church, I'm forgetting how they would look because I am inside the church. But when I talked, the common words spoken in church with the other people, there are people against me. So it's kind of I use two different languages. I need to use two different languages in the church, church language and also language for for the words. I need to bilingual, and even the common words in the church. Sometimes I need to change to meet the word, to meet the need of the word. And now I'm doing it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the main idea. So there is a truth. There is truth. So sometimes I need to use a different language to communicate with the other people who speak a different language. And then yeah, it says when you stay longer, um, I don't say it's a matter of the time. So you need to get blessed to understand the message. So how could I understand? How could I understand this much? It is all blessing. It is all blessing. So that's why when I meet other people who doesn't get it, I don't no longer get angry because it's not their fault. There should be a certain time. And also, when I meet, let's say, slow learners in my class, I cannot get angry or with him. So I need to study as a teacher to meet to meet in his eye level. So if I eager to get him understood, not him, not the student, the teacher need to study. The teacher need to study. So if I feel I owe God, I owe somebody, I need to do something to make it simple and easy. So I cannot be arrogant because I can understand it is the truth. Be that way. So I changed my attitude. I used to be very arrogant. It says, you don't get it, but I didn't get it. So I changed my attitude. I tried to make it simple and easy to meet their needs because I care what God cares, and because I owe God, He gave me life. He gave me life. He make me the car move at last. So I need to pay back. So I know. So when I see my family, husband and two sons, that's the proof. The church is growing. The life is growing stronger and deeper. So this is a very it's a firm foundation for me, and it gives me the confidence about God's work. So I feel secure, and I can tell God is forming His own body and to make me relax. And when you get fully relaxed, you can work, you can manage any difficulties. So because confidence He gave me as say returning back my family, I once tried to break it as stamping the divorce. See, God is stronger.
What's happening?
Yeah, she's struggling to come and join. See, you need to have a blessing to have this meeting. It's not free. So okay. Anyone else?
Now Sojang is here. You're here.
Yes, I am.
Welcome back.
I am blessed to be here.
Yeah, you need to thank God.
Okay. Praise the Lord.
That is too short.
Okay. Praise the Lord. 100 times.
Still too short.
언니, are you like done with your contract or what's happening?
It ends at the end of this month.
Ah, okay. Okay. But aren't you on your summer break?
I am in the break.
So summer break and then it's over?
I have more 10 more working days.
Okay. Are you sad or happy?
Honestly, I'm happy not to work, to be just. But and in my age, people get retired. That is my excuse when I don't get a job. But when I'm at work, I enjoy it.
That's good. Okay. What happened? How come David's not here today?
No, he's not here.
Do you know why?
No idea.
Okay.
I think that you are the most close friend.
Huh? The closest friend?
Of David?
David. You don't know, then nobody knows.
Ah.
I mean, what's the true fruit of life? What is the fruit of life? I mean, I don't know actually what is the fruit of life. What is we think about we know what is the fruit of good and evil is, but what is the fruit of life? If actually I don't know, I mean, what is the fruit of life? We think that for me, when I think about the fruit of life, I think what is the fruit of good and evil? It is the fruit of life is located outside of the opposite side of the fruit of good and evil. Yeah. So I don't know actually. Don't know what fruit of good and fruit of life is. I mean, recently I read the book which is The Art of Love by Eric Fromm, and now I'm reading the book which is To Have or To Be, also written by Eric Fromm. Yeah, Eric Fromm's books I'm reading, and I think that if we have love, then we don't know each other. I mean, if I nearly wants to know other people, then I need love. I mean, the love is kind of key to open other person's gate of mind. So that's why, so I think that the love is necessary to know the core of other people. So and I also think that about the love and the fruit of life. Yeah, it's kind of the same things, So the fruit of life, then it is the kind of love. So with the fruit of life, then we know, we understand, the other peoples as they are. And so fruit of life is kind of a love. It's my guessing, because I said that I'm reading the books, the book, which is the art of love, and which is to have or to be by Eric Fromm. So that's why I think about what the fruit of good and fruit of life is. So I think that it could be something like love, to know the persons deeply.
First, I wonder what made you read that book in your age. Anyway, because I remember I read that one when I was a teenager.
High school.
Oh my goodness.
As you said that the title, look at the title, to be or not to be. To be or not to be. You just made it very clear today. I didn't get the answer when I was teenager, but you just gave me the answer today. So the title is to be or not to be. The love didn't give me that, to be or not to be. The love cannot be the answer to me. Even I didn't know what I was looking for. Just like, you lost something in the house, but at a moment you just forgot what you are looking for. So it's just like that. I didn't know what I was missing in my life, but that is it. To be or not to be. God's message gave me the answer. I need to be. These days in my testimony, I say, I deserve to be here. I deserve to be here. When I look at myself, when I look at what I've done to me and to other people, I thought I don't deserve the life. So I saw people like that. You deserve to live. You don't deserve to live. I was judging people like that. But today, as the book's title says, now I have the answer. I need to be here. To be or not to be, I need to be. Because God gives me the identity. I need to be here. He's been working on me for a long time. At last, he formed me. He formed me. He is still forming it, but he gave me the identity. I need to be here. So it is very recent instant. I have this attitude this year. In my age, this year, I decided to be here because the whole question is to be or not to be. That is my question. So I could get this, I could get married, I could have a job, but I keep asking myself to be or not to be. When Yunju died, that was the kind of a turning point to me. To be or not to be. Her death that was very shocking. I said, I cannot say that shortly, but all my question is to be or not to be. Now I can say I need to be here because not my reason, God's reason. So God's need is my reason to be here. So love is kind of love is one of the aspects, but for me it's not the one. Love is not the one. So God's need, God's purpose is my reason to be here. So at last, in my age, I decided to be here. I have strong desire to be here. Not my wish, God's wish. So I'd like to hear someday what you got from that book when you finish that one. I still wonder what made you decide to read A form.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Taoism. Do you know the Taoism? 노자, 노자 사상. Okay. We name it, but we name it. There is no more. Actually, there is no name. It is the Taoism. I mean, it's many things. In our church, I was very confused when Pastor Lee say about the soil and life with head, and second life and resurrected life. Many things he talks about that, but I found that everything is the same concept. I mean, it is the one thing. So he described this way and he described that way. So, but one day, my wife said, "You look like you don't have any, head in your life because in the church." So
Steve, why didn't you say you are my head? Why didn't you say to Young'un?
no. I didn't say that, but I mean, she said you don't have your head in the church. So I was very confused that when I heard, her saying, and I thought and thought and thought, why what is head in the church? I think that I have no one that I follow, so that's why she said like that way. You had no head in the church.
Did you ask back to her?
The one day I found myself that having the head is I'm the soil, I'm nothing, I'm on the cross. Everything is the same meaning. I mean, the life with head, and I look at Jesus Christ on the cross, and everything is the same. It's a one thing. So was I was angry to her, and why you confuse me? Because to have a head on in the life in the church, it means that I am on the cross. I am in the church. It's all meaning is the same. It's just is the word. Have a head. It's not it's not the meaning. You have the someone who you follow who you follow. It's not the meaning. So I said that I said about the love in the Eric Fromm's book, but I think that is all the same meaning. So I said that it's something like the fruit of life. That's why I said about this. The love. It is not the concept we think about the love, but I think that the love aspect of the love property of the love is all same uh, things, almost similar things to the fruit of life, I think, because uh, without love, without the fruit of good and evil, fruit of life, we cannot know the other people. We cannot understand other church members in the church. So that's why I think that the love is kind of motivation or the starting point to know someone in the church. And it's the starting point to be united with the church members. So that's why I said about the law and said about the fruit of good and evil. It's almost the same, I said. Oh, hi, David.
Hello, sorry I'm late. I was helping Ruth watch a granddaughter.
Uh,
I may be in and out today.
we are now
Yeah.
page number 55. What
They
is
say
the tree
better late
of
than never.
what is the tree of the fruit of life? The page number 55. Can you read, David?
Okay, yeah, better do it while I can. So what's the what is the tree of the fruit of life?
50
that-
page number 55.
Yes, and what are the first words of the paragraph?
What the below side? The what is the tree of
Okay, got it. What is the tree of the fruit of life? It can be produced when we have an appropriate and desirable relationship with one another and with God. Whether a person is desirable or not, the most important criteria should be the relationship between themselves and God. Ultimately, people who have well, actually, that in a nutshell, it's hard to get more important than the most important. So I guess as you know, being created as the image, having a relationship with our Creator, you know, is certainly the most important. Should I read on to
yes,
the end of the space? Okay. Ultimately, people who have a desirable and perfect relationship with God produce the fruit of life. Jesus can be called the fruit of life, but how can he produce the fruit of life? He is able to produce the fruit of life because he had a desirable and perfect relationship with God. The relationship between father and son is the most desirable relationship between them. There's no chasm, stain, or blemish. Their relationship is life. It can't be cut off, which means that it's the most normal relationship. Jesus and his Father has the most normal and model relationship. His behavior was natural because it was produced through his life. His words were full of truthfulness, and there is nothing that we should discard because he had the perfect relationship with his Father, God. If we have a desirable relationship with God, we will be able to produce truthfulness. How can we have a desirable relationship with God? Excuse me.
Go on. Yeah, how can we have desirable relationship with God?
Yeah,
many Christians think.
Yeah.
You
The
want
answer is in the next paragraph, maybe.
Yeah.
Judging, how about listening to David's kind of idea or testimony, because we don't have much time to keep reading.
Okay.
One of the things on I was looking at something the other day, and the person was suggesting that you know, people can, you know, we can give somebody our shirt and get another one. We can, you know, if something happens with our car, we can get another one. If even our house, you know, if somebody takes our house, we can get another one. But when it comes to time, if, you know, somebody takes our time, or if we give our time, that time is gone. It's never going to come back again. You know, so just again, time is one of those things that has always been so important to me, time and truth in particular. And so I was also, so that what we do with our time, are we, whatever we're doing, is it being done in a way that we are either in relationship with God or building that relationship with God? I think that's a question in addition to, how can we have that desirable relationship? How are we spending our time, and is it related to that relationship or helping to build it? And I remember from, yes, Mishak? Okay.
Not me.
Okay, I remember from when I was studying different world religions during my agnostic period, there was, I can't remember where it was from, but from one of the more Eastern scriptures, there was the comment that think on God with every breath you take. Think on God with every breath you take. So again, that relates to how do we spend our time, and how, what are the, one of the things that helps companies and become more successful and productive is automation. And so it's and automation at the human level is habit. So we're in the habit of thinking on God with every breath we take, then it seems to me that that's part of that being in that relationship and building that relationship. So those are the thoughts that came as I was reading that.
I'd like to talk about the relationship with God. You said every breath, when you take each breath, you think about God. So there are two sons here. Every moment I think of them, but I doubt they will think of me. So just like that, God will do that. Thankfully, God will do that. So that's why this relationship keeps going and closer, stronger. And now I remember all of a sudden, and David, you once said the poster, I don't say it today, yeah. So how to maximize human's power, human's strength. So you said you are interested in how to maximize each person's strength. So keep thinking, and also last Sunday, Pastor Lee mentioned about it, similar thing. And that made me think again, how to maximize, if there is any power in me, how can I maximize it? I don't know how to do that as a mom or wife, but one thing I know is God will do that. God would like to do that. As long as I have a healthy relationship with God, it makes God easy to do what he has to do. And then what am I supposed to do? So I need to be in my position as a creature. In the Bible, it shows when I decide to help God, when I think God is working so slow, I could have Ismail. But God's plan, God's original plan is to have Isaac. But when I add my idea, my help, it becomes Ismail. But God doesn't need him. And because of Ismail, and there is just the history that shows, they say it doesn't help God at all. So now I feel relaxed about being myself fully. When I can be used totally by God, that can be the maximum uses of myself. So that is very promising, isn't it? That is. Some people say, I don't know. Yesterday, my husband said I would be bad. I could be better when I had when I had a nice family. I heard a few people talk to me like that. If I'm from a fine family, I would be better. I would get, probably they would say, I would get get better job or better position. But I doubt it. I cannot imagine it. But now it doesn't matter how old I am. I'm called by God to be used in His own purpose. I think that's the only way and the most the best way I can be used. I'm supposed to be, because He is the owner. He made me. So I used to think myself a terrible hammer, because whenever I try to hit the nail, it didn't. It became it got broken. I damned myself. But the owner comes and said, "Oh, you're a cup, glass cup or crystal." So I met God. It's like that. I met who knows me than I know myself. So that's why I can be used. I can be used fully. I don't know how to make the maximized in proper way, but I can be fully used. I can be fully used because I finally met the owner, the maker. I think that's why I had to say that's the only way each person can be used fully, maximize himself, meet the owner, meet the maker. Then he knows, the owner, the maker knows what I am, what I can be used. So I think, David, I'm in that way, I can be used fully. Happy.
Right, compared to money and things being given or gifts, the time spent for other things and to other people can never be taken back. I agree completely with David, what he said.
Bishop, can you say that more because probably you more understand what David said about timing thing.
On the time spent for another, because we know that our life is our time, and as our life goes, then our time also flows, and we can never go back to to the time that was lost. So compared with gifts or money or other material things given to another, which can be changed, the time spent for whatever we do can never be taken back.
You know, one thing, I know this church because of Kwon Jae-hoon.
Yeah, Haesung's husband.
Yeah, husband, and he's
Judo master.
Yeah, he just threw away his time and money. That's why I'm here. That's
Right.
why. And so I had to meet him after 10 years. Probably he might thought he lost his time and money, but after 10 years, when I was looking for a person who can give me, who can show me the way in life, I recalled him. That's why at first it seemed is lost, just a waste. But who knows?
Mm.
Who knows? So this kind of meeting can be sometimes, can be taken like a losing or wasting. But in the Bible, I don't know where it is. Probably Mishak, better in Bible. It says God doesn't waste, something like that. God doesn't waste. And that isn't there the kind of what God does. He doesn't waste, something like that. I like that part. So he doesn't. He always planned and gets something. Even which seems just a waste. He always get back something from all things he did. So anyway, I'm happy you joined, Katie.
Mm.
We are,
Yeah. Made it.
I think it was in last week's marathon or sermon from Jihun Moksanim that dealing with one of the Psalms of David, and this was after related to his, sin of adultery with Bathsheba. And the message, one of the things that I took away from that message was that even if, when humans do make mistakes, and they, if they come back around to focus on that relationship with God, and sometimes even if they don't, God can use that experience, their experience, to do his work, to help his cause progress. And so when it comes to time, and especially time that we've spent on things that we may regret at some point in our life, rather than deal with that, it seems so much more important to focus on from this point forward, because kind of, today's the first day of the rest of my life, that type of attitude. And coming back to that, first love, that relationship with God. So, yeah, I'm glad to be part of this Skype too, because it just, even though I kind of forgot it this morning when I was focusing on the granddaughter, it's helpful to me to reinforce that relationship, not only with God, but with people who share that value.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you about the David thing. So that my testimony was about that sermon. I said both of them, God and David, are so cool because uh, David was begging before his son died, begging God to give him life. He begging hard, but it died anyway. But after the son died, he just be, become he didn't what is it? Where is my English? He just comes to normal life. He didn't beg anymore. And the servant asked, why? He said, my son died. But that death didn't break the relationship with God. And also, that's not the end. That's not God gave him other son. So they cannot be the same, but it's better than nothing. God prepared next step. But a lot of time in my life, I was, standing still and didn't step forward. It's regretting. I spent so much time doing that. But when I see David, he didn't, even his son died, he didn't stay there. He was still led by God. He knew, I don't know, he knew he was still leading by God. Yeah, that was both of them so cool, look so cool to me. Yeah, you just reminded me of that one.
There's part in the Bible, I think what you were asking about when Jesus multiplied the bread, and then and then there were leftovers, and then he told the disciples to gather everything, and then he told them, let nothing be wasted. Maybe you were referring about that. No, different.
But that's not it, Bishop.
Okay.
That's not it. Keep studying.
Let's remember.
But your Bible knowledge is impressive, Meshach. I've noticed several times you're able to pick out a particular reference and know right where it is.
Right. I will look. I will also search for it.
Thank you. They're coming out to life sometimes.
Okay, everyone. Thank you for your time and support. It's 9:30 here in Korea.
No,
I'm sorry to say, but huh?
It is 9. Isn't it 9:30? And after hearing your testimony, we call it a day. How about that?
Okay. Okay, I'll make it very short and brief. It's you were talking about the tree of life. I think the tree of life is obviously versus the tree of the fruit of knowledge of good and evil, where it judges people. And I think if when we think about it in the relationship wise, I would say like it judges people, and always you view people through the like according to what's wrong and what's right kind of thing. And it always leaves you with one person being the right one, and obviously the other one being the wrong one. So, but whereas like when we think about the tree of life, I mean, there's a good example from the Bible where King Solomon was asked by two moms, like insisting that the baby belonged to one of them. You know, the mom, the real mom, said like, okay, like I would forego the baby, and they'll just say, no, don't, don't cut the baby in half, kind of thing. So I think so. The tree of life is about. I think that's why, in this sense, that's why Jajin talked about love when he was talking about the tree of life. Basically, it comes from love, and so it gives life. And as a parent, or especially being a mom, like any moms or any even dads, even when you look at your children, you always want to give more, and you always think that you haven't done enough for your children. So tree of life is always about. I think love comes first, and also like the compassion, being compassionate, towards the other person, and you're more than you're so glad to let yourself what do you call, like, go, or not go, but like you're always ready to yield and like give in, for to give the victory to the other one. Hi, Sarah. What are you doing? So,
She's
I
looking.
think in that sense, I think it can also be love. In other words, anyways. So for me these days, I have some moments that I still feel very embarrassed and stuff. For example, today at my school, we had a meeting, and we always need to kind of talk about like the upcoming events. And because we have like teachers who just joined us this year, so the event that they haven't, which is the events that are new to them. So we sit down, kind of, giving them like what's gonna happen, how things are done, and then I made a little like a meeting agenda with the time schedules and stuff. And then I made a mistake, I didn't look at the timetable carefully, and I had a mistake. And then I realized like, wow, I felt really embarrassed at first, but then maybe it's thanks to this message. I think otherwise, if it hadn't been this message, I would have like just like felt so embarrassed, and like, I just must have like, despised myself like for being such a, like clumsy and like unthoughtful kind of person. But then I was like, I was very glad that how the teachers were kind of understanding, and they were, instead of like being very critical, maybe they might have talked about it, behind my back on their own, but who knows? But I don't know that. So anyway, so I thought like, I felt very humble, to be honest. I felt very humble, and I was very appreciative of all the teachers. Like, me being the head teacher, like making that kind of, silly mistake, and, that kind of thing. But then I was like very glad that teachers had like better ideas than me, and they were, all ready to jump in, and like, give the better solutions, whatever, to fix the mistake in the timetable. They were all giving their own ideas and stuff. So I was like very appreciative. So this one, I think it cannot come from me myself, because I know myself being very, like, very, what do you call, like always, blaming myself. Of course, it was my fault, but then, I would always to the point, I kind of lose my self-esteem and everything like that. But then I realized today, instead of doing that, I was very grateful to all the teachers, and I just felt bad for like I had some what do you call, like misunderstanding towards some of the teachers. But then thanks to my mistake today, I I felt more, I mean, I was very glad that they are there working together. I felt like we are a team. I can't do everything by myself, and I'm not the superior one there. I'm always like, you know, with them and very thankful kind of thing. So I think the tree of life is more about like union and like working together, like living together, rather than like trying to see who's right or who's wrong. Okay, that's my testimony. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for your time. And once again,
Such a
yes,
cutie
who's
granddaughter.
that? Is that a, oh my God, is that a living creature or the dolly? So cute, so cute.
Doll.
Wow,
손녀.
yeah,
안녕하세요.
so cute.
Is her name
Hi. Joy.
Joy?
좋아.
좋아.
좋아. Hi, 좋아. Are you 좋아? Are you 좋아? 좋아, say hello to 조아진. 조아진, we have 조아진 here in Korea.
좋아. 맞네.
조아진, yes. Hi. You are so adorable.
여기 애기 볼래? 안녕하세요.
Sarah, look at the baby or
예. 여기.
Sarah, say hello.
Hello.
Wow, Joa likes seeing Sarah, I think. So cute.
She's wondering so much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't hear you, David.
You're mute.
She is a good wanderer.
Wow.
And it's a real pleasure to watch her and how she interacts with the world and life.
Wow. There you go, David. You are the tree of life to her. Yes.
I do try to extend a branch. Yes.
Yes. Wow. Wow. Okay, Mishek, is it cold there? I saw you like wearing like layers of clothes.
Yeah, it's been more than 2 weeks of raining, and the temperature keeps dropping already.
Well, look you.
It's just 18, but the rain, it makes the air very cold. Oh, Sarah's singing
Is that singing?
or shrieking.
Falling to the ground. Falling from bed to ground.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye
And we will
bye.
see you all next Tuesday.
Yeah.
All
Yes,
right.
thank you.
See you next.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Sarah Brown Bear, what do you see? Bye bye.